Here is how you actually find a 100x token before anyone else. So the crypto system is rigged. By the time you find a new crypto token, it has already mooned. Happened before? Heard of smell token? Exactly. First, the how. Method 1, the shitpost. You scroll endlessly through the boards, Reddit, 4chan, and so on. If the project has a low market cap and just listed, go time. I found PEPL, for PEPL, when they just got listed on 4chan/biz. Got some, then it mooned. Here's the proof. And then it fell again right after. In this case, I got the timing down perfectly. Again, here's some more proof. When did I cover the project? A whole week earlier. Here's a clip. A quick check on the transaction and clicking confirm. Going with my lucky number 555. Sorry, friends, for not choosing 666. And well, 3% still fails. So let's try 3.2%. And there we go. And now we have plenty of PEPL for this contest. Ready? Could have gone 3 times less, but what else, friend? Now here's the bad news. Obviously, this is still gambling. There is some skill element, but it's still volatile. Consider it an educated guess, somewhat. Playing poker with experience. Better odds, you can evaluate, still gambling.
Take my money.
Method 2, the event. There are thousands of crypto events. So how do you find them? You can Google, or you can use the Nomad spreadsheet, link in the description. No way, no shilling, free stuff. Then you fly there and attend. Make sure you studied the major speakers and booths beforehand. Don't waste a minute to know your targets. You can either be very knowledgeable or you can go full caveman brain. If their thing is really useful, it's probably good. If they just raise money, could be a good token. Okay. Or at least marketing campaign goes up. Check their token price and market cap. If their market cap is already in the tens of millions, you should do a soft close maybe, or just move on. It won't 10x anymore at that point. Or at least it'll be hard. It'll be hard for them to even 2x. If market cap is low, that's a potential target. Now, it's easy to make claims after the fact, right? Like how I made money with PEPL and 4chan token too, by the way. Fair enough. So here's one in advance. Now, again, this is gambling, but you have better odds. It's like playing blackjack instead of, like poker, I guess. Whatever. I encountered smell token, Cent Market, SML, at WebX in Tokyo. Then I found them again at CoinFest in Bali, and then again at Token 2049 in Singapore. And they're out there, and they have a tangible novelty thing, plus a low market cap, plus they're already listed, and we're not talking like, it's like budget. So, good enough. Fair enough. Mexix or something like that would, but
I want
if you have a legitimate one, the more the better, the merrier. Basically all the green flags, but let's start from the beginning. First thing I noticed was their cent printer at our first encounter at WebX. It's something you can really touch quite literally. Mind you, their digital presence is tiny. They focus on Japan. There's a lot of marketing boomer-ish things that they're really not doing well, to be quite honest. But you can tell they're really trying. They have a product, a cent printer, just like a 3D printer, but for cents. Can roll a clip later. So, there's a product. You can use that stuff. So first, the green flags. Team, funding. They're not yet known, like an undiscovered artist with amazing talent. And if not, there's at least a novelty, something new, right? It's not another exchange, another wallet with no actual edge over the others. Here's where me being media, or in some case, you could be a speaker or something like that, with is a huge advantage because you get a different pass. That's it. I'm not a regular visitor at these exhibitions, right? It would say visitor, like, visitor, right? This gives me priority and often access to areas that are usually behind a paywall, like VIP table, side events, pitch events to investors, or even just cool booths, or you can get in earlier, you don't have to wait in long lines, which gives you more time. And of course, people share more secret information with you. They're more likely to engage in business conversation. Now, you might not actually be interested in getting a job or selling something, but they'll give you, more information to work with. Say you want to invest a decent amount of money, you want to know what you're doing, right? Heck, who knows what Yatsui told me in this exclusive one-on-one interview? So I'll share how to do this in a future video because this will otherwise get too long, but you can manage without too. It's just a bit harder. So back to Cent token, smell market. They didn't try to talk about what they may do in the future. Instead, they took out this intriguing device, right, the printer thingy. At the time a cube, now it's like a circle-ish thing. And they scanned a QR code. of an NFT, and it gets blockchain-ish, but it's not necessary. They could also just roll the app. You can just print whatever scent you want, have a bunch of buttons, you click moonlight, boom, you smell moonlight, however that works. So, there's this, I can imagine this work. Even if it's just like a tangible device, I can imagine you go down the street, you buy it as a novelty souvenir or as a cool thing, a new tech gadget. I can see that on Amazon or something like that. I can see it even in drop shipping thing. Roll the Andrew Tate referral link, right? But either way, I can see that. So the device released, or rather prints a unique scent on the spot. That, to me, that's really cool. That's a gold mine, a potential, a hidden gem. And that it has a lot of value, but it is known by very few people, or let's not say a lot of value, but tangible, right? This is also because of their kind of boom approach, the lower, impact. Their SEO is pretty bad. Their presence is bad because their marketing is, and how they handle the company. Like, for example, they have a bunch of addresses from their team, where they have their token, and they use some of the developer funds directly to sell stuff. Like, it gets complicated, but bottom line is they can do really good. They have a really good product, and they're genuine. So they focus almost too much on development at this point, and not really that much on actually selling. But their upcoming updates and releases, from what I can find on the internet, even just screams potential, especially now that the token is really low. So usually when a token tanks, you want to cut your losses, obviously. In this case, I don't really see that. I wouldn't immediately buy or something like that, but I would look at the information, I will keep an eye on it, and I would dollar cost average. I can always recommend that if you're interested. Now, it's not exactly hard to find out if you look up their app or something on how this kind of stuff works. You can immediately come across a big, fat beta version, just like with video games. And, Japanese stuff takes time. Ever waited to buy a video game to save a few bucks, something like that, right? And then when the game is finally in the complete full version, it's still kind of a mess. Remember Cyberpunk 2077? It was rushed. It was a bit of a mess, but they still got there, right? Anyways, most of the projects at crypto events are usually just another iteration of an exchange or wallet. We mentioned that. It's techy, it's dry. It takes a lot of technical knowledge. You need to know your stuff, trading, the exact fees. You could make a copy-paste of Binance, and if you had slightly better fees, technically you win, right? But that's, so you need to know about trading, you need to know about the fees. Conclusion, don't focus on these complicated things. In conclusion, Cent Token has good potential. So I'm going to call now that they, I feel they're going to take a while, but I see that they can really go big up. So personally, again, I'm not American, but this is also not financial advice. But personally, if I'm interested in them, so I would probably just buy myself a printer. Try it out, get a bunch of tokens to use it, something like that, and then dollar cost average into it over time, which is also another obvious thing. When you look it up, you don't want the first result to be like, look at this, it will 10x, so shill it immediately. Now, I know that some of my past videos were exactly that, but that's because those were, basically gamble projects.
It can house 12 cent cartridges, enabling the creation of over 10,000 cents, including those with the depth and elegance of luxury perfumes.
It's quite literally a printer. Think 3D printing or Charlie's Chocolate Factory, but for perfumes. With it, an app or the cent market. That's how SML works. Remember this video on the guy who bought Bitcoin at $1? He tried to tell you to. He learned about Bitcoin, how it works, and he was in the trenches, right? The internet forums. That's how he knew. My trenches are these events. So let's talk about, not the events. They're kind of fun, but traveling to them and all the, takes a lot of energy, right? Shout out Hunter, Steven. So let's talk more about Smell Token. Potential, huge. The price is at the bottom now, but the liquidity, worst case, it trades sideways for a while or it goes down a bit, 10, 20% or something. I don't see a rug pull or something like that. I don't see a complete loss. They might even delist completely from the exchange, but then they would probably just list again later or buy the token back and just switch to fiat. Either way, they have a cool product. They can't really rug at that point. Their members, addresses, everything is public, though it's not that easy to find, courtesy of Japanese boomer organizational display, whatever. they will get themselves into deep trouble. But let's play the devil's advocate. Let's say they don't grow at all. Let's say they still complete to get anywhere, and it takes forever. Still a tangible, unique thing, like I mentioned. It's niche, it has novelty. It's like a ham dog. It's fun. It's something you buy once, play around with. God knows the amount of useless crap I bought just because of novelty. All the crane games, the random ass booster packs of freaking children games. I just want to look at the cards for a minute and literally give it away. Smell, however, has that huge potential going for it. Then there's the case of Games Workshop, when corpos get a bit too greedy and overcharge their fan base a ton, right? The fan base steps in. Instead of paying $1 quadrillion for models, the fan base starts 3D printing their own Warhammer figurines, right? They just had to make 3D renders and got it done, and now they can print their own stuff. I can't wait to discover what the Cent version of that story will be, but as usually, I highly recommend to only invest in what you can afford to lose. $400 in a month, don't do it at once. Don't sell it once. You want to get a good average, so you do 100 every week, 400 a month in total. What I can recommend on Binance, there's some other services. I think Coinbase has it. I think even Revolut has it. You can just buy a little bit automatically every day, so you get the perfect average price. Whenever you think, okay, it's going up now, might want to sell a tiny little bit every day. I have 10K, want to sell like a K every month. I'll just have it sell like, what's that, $33 a day or something, or a buy opposite. So and 100 a week, that's 5,200 a year. That's quite a bit, especially if you don't have that much to invest. And it's way better than to buy 5K at once, because then you're completely dependent on the timing versus having it spread over an entire year. All right, that's it.
And if you don't know, now you know.